Hi, this is Pawan here for Torrents.com, and in this lesson I'm going to show you how to play guitar chords for the song Papa Kehte Hain from the film Qayamat se Qayamat tak. We're going to take a look at the chords, we're going to take a look at the strumming pattern in a bit of detail, and then we'll play along with the backing tracks. But just to make sure we are tuned together, I'm going to play the open note here on the 6th string, which is an E. So make sure your guitar is in tune with mine. So this song really has 4 very simple chords, and we're going to try with both open chords and bar chords, and I'm going to show you some nice effects when you're going to play with bar chords. So the chords are C, A minor, F and G. When we're going to play with bar chords, we're going to play them here: C, A minor, F and G. So those are the 4 chords which I use throughout the song. Now let me show you the strumming pattern. I'm going to show you both with open chords and with bar chords. So let me show you how it's going to sound like with open chords, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing. So first I'll play it in the original speed, then I'll show you at a much slower speed, and then I'll explain to you the strokes. Now let me try and slow it down for you so you can see what I'm doing. Let me try and call out the stroke names using down and up. So down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. Let's try doing that with a progression of C, A minor, F and G. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So that was using the open chords of C, A minor, F and G. We're going to try using bar chords now, and essentially the advantage with bar chords are that you can produce a better rhythm with more control over the strings by using something called a muting effect. So when you're playing the chord, for example, you're playing the chord C, instead of sounding like this, the chord C would sound like this when you are able to mute the strings. So essentially what you're doing is, as soon as you complete the stroke with your right hand, you lift the fingers of your left hand from the fretboard without letting go of the strings. So what happens is basically once the chord is complete, the strings get muted. So instead of sounding like this, it sounds like this. Instead of like this, it sounds like this. So this requires a bit of practice if you've never done it before. So make sure you spend a lot of time getting that right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pattern which we just did with the open chords, and I'm going to show you with the bar chords, but we'll use a muting effect. And let me first show you at the original speed how it's going to sound like, and then we'll slow it down. So this is how it will sound, the pattern: C, A minor, F, G. So now let me play it slowly so you can see what I'm doing. So essentially it's the same strokes: down, down, up, down, up. It's just that we are muting the strings on the 2nd stroke, which is a down stroke, and also on the 5th stroke, which is a down stroke. So down, down, up, down, up. So as you can see on those 2 strokes, which were down strokes, which we were muting the strings. So instead of playing, we are going to play. So let me play this very slowly. You can play along with me, and we'll play the chord progression of C, A minor, F and G. I'll initially play it very slowly, and then I'll increase the speed so you can try and play along with me. So here goes. before we go and play along with the backing track, just a few things which I'd like to share with you. When we played the progression right now, that's what is played in the chorus of the song, or the mukhra. So you have C, which is played once, and then you have A minor. By once I mean one set of the strokes which I showed you. So C, A minor, F, and then G, and then it goes back to C, of course. But when it comes to the stanza, the verse, or the antara, C is played 4 times for that entire set of strokes which I showed you. So 4 sets. There is no A minor, and then you have F for 2 sets, and then you have G 1 set and back to C 1 set. So you're going to see the chords on the screen when I'm going to play along with the song. So that'll help you. But I'm just trying to give you a heads up that this is how it's going to change in the verse. So now let's try and play along with the backing track.
आज मुझे बार-बार एक ही ख्याल आ रहा है।
So that was the lesson for the song Papa Kehte Hain. We played along with the backing track, and you should be able to play along with the song using the strumming pattern that I showed you. There is another style which you can use to strum along with the song, and it's really not just strumming, it's a lot more than that. It's a little tough to play, requires a lot of practice. So I'm going to show you what it sounds like. And if you want to try this, you can follow the rest of this lesson. I'm going to show you how you can play that. So this is how it's going to sound with the same chords C, A minor, F and G. So here's how it's going to sound. So that's pretty much the same pattern which we saw earlier, except that we were playing it in a slightly different way. So before I explain to you what I did, there are a few things which you might want to take note of. One is, for each of these 4 chords, you must know where 2 of the notes are located. So a chord consists of 3 notes, that's a triad, and you need to know where the first note is being played and where the 5th note is being played. So for example, when you're playing C major over here in a bar shape, the first note of the chord is played here, which is C, that's on the 5th string. And the 5th note is G, which is being played here on the 6th string. With the other 3 chords, the strings get switched for the 1st and the 5th notes. So for A minor, the first note is here, which is A, and the 5th note is here, which is E. For F, the first note is here, which is F, and this is the 5th note, which is C. And for G, the first note is here, which is G on the 6th string, and the 5th note is here on the 5th string, which is D. So you have to remember this, because what we are going to really do is the strumming pattern which you saw, which was down, down, up, up, down, up. In the first set of down, down, up, we are going to substitute the first stroke and the third stroke with these two notes, and continue strumming for the other strokes. And I'll come and explain to you in a moment, even for the strumming, we're not going to strum the way we were doing it earlier. Remember, for the pattern, we are substituting the first stroke with the first note of the chord, and the third stroke with the fifth note of the chord. So now that you know which are the notes you need to play, you need to substitute the actual stroke with, let me play the strumming pattern for you. It's the same pattern as before, except that for the first downstroke, we are substituting it with the first note of the chord you're playing, and for the third stroke, which is an upstroke, we are substituting it with the fifth note of the chord. So this is a little tricky here. So this is how it's going to sound with for the chord C. For A, and similarly for F and for G. So let me try and explain that sequence to you one more time using the down and up pattern which I had explained earlier. So we were playing earlier down, down, up, down, up. What we are now doing is, on the first downstroke, we are replacing it with the note here, which is the first note of the chord when you're playing in C. If you're playing in A, it would be on the 6th string. And for the third stroke, which is an upstroke, we are replacing it with the note here on the 6th string over here for C. So that's the G note. So these are really the bass notes. So what you're really doing is, you're actually alternating between the bass lines and the strumming pattern, and really you're doing the job of two guitarists. So typically these bass lines would be played by a bass guitarist, and the rhythm guitarist would be playing the strokes. But let's say you are singing and playing along with it alone, you might just want to try this pattern. It sounds pretty nice, and it requires a little bit of practice, but after that you will probably enjoy playing it. So let's try and play the entire progression of C, A minor, F and G using that pattern, and then we'll play along with the song as well, just for a few lines to give you a flavor of what it sounds like. So here goes with C, A minor, F and G. Now let's try and play along with the song for just a little bit, just to show you what it sounds like.
एक ही ख्याल आ रहा है। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा, बेटा हमारा ऐसा काम करेगा, मगर ये तो कोई न जाने कि मेरी मंजिल है कहाँ। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा, बेटा हमारा ऐसा काम करेगा, मगर ये तो कोई न जाने कि मेरी मंजिल है कहाँ। पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा।
So that was the strumming pattern which I just showed you with the song. You might have noticed something here when I was playing. Instead of playing the way I showed you earlier, I was actually holding on to the fretboard here with these three fingers here for support, and I was actually keeping my hand steady here and just playing with the help of my thumb for the notes, of course, the bass notes, and using my first finger here for the strumming, because the rhythm is a little fast, and I guess I instinctively did that to get support. So if you are comfortable playing without that, you could play what I showed you earlier, but otherwise you could play it the way I showed, where you use your fingers here to support yourself, and just use your thumb and your first finger. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson for Papa Kehte Hain, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Thank you.